Hey guys, Hannah here with hannahsmilitaria.com, and on today's World War II connected video, I'm going to be going over the 4 different types of networks that the Germans had to interact with. Let's say the Germans took a town. They didn't want to have to run all new lines in the city. It was much more efficient to use the civilian lines and existing infrastructure that was already in place, which is why there were so many different types of networks they had to adapt to. I'm going to go over their networks and explain their uses. The first network we're going to go over is the OB network. OB is the abbreviation for the German words for local battery. Any phone with a battery can be operated on an OB line. Field phones have batteries installed, as we've gone over, and so do these 1938 model desk phones. Additionally, the regular 10-line switchboard that you commonly see doesn't have a battery on its own, so it's meant to be running with OB lines where it's getting its power from the phone that's connected to it. The second type of network I'm going to go over is ZB, and that's the German abbreviation for central battery, which means the power is supplied to the phone line from the switchboard. That's very similar to how modern US landlines are powered. Now, anything you see with a dial, such as this dialer, or phones that have a ZB option written on the terminals where you wire in, can function on a ZB system. This is an Umspannschleuser, and one of its functions is to connect OB, local battery lines, to a ZB, central battery line. While the 1938 desk phone has a local battery, it is compatible with different lines and can work over the ZB network or the SB network that I'm going to talk about shortly. The third type of common network you're going to run into is going to be marked with an E. That E you may see on the back of phones or other equipment means it can be used with an earthbound system. For field phones, the E system was used, and I'm going to do another video setting this up and demonstrating it outside, but for now, to explain, the earthbound system uses one wire above the ground as is normal, and instead of the second wire running the same length, the current of that second wire is going to run through the ground using one of these stakes. That means you need half the wire, which means half the weight, half the space taken up, and half the work. The downside to this is that it can be more easily intercepted and tapped, and it was not supposed to be used close to enemy lines. The last type of line we're going to go over is the SB network, which is an end pulse system. This SB Zusatz is one of the more desirable phone accessories, and right now I'm seeing these sell for up to $300 US. This was meant to be used to patch in military lines into a civilian network. Originally, this handset holder would be used with a switchboard the likes of which I have yet to track down. As far as we can tell, this is an entirely obsolete system. However, these are still very popular because they fit easily on the phones and they look really cool. In a simple switchboard operation such as we have set up here, or you may have set up in an event, the switchboard operator doesn't need to know the second a call ends. It doesn't matter because it's not a high call volume environment. But in a high call volume environment, that's not the case. Operators need to know as soon as the call is over so they can unplug the lines for future calls. The standard procedure was for the end caller to ring the line when the call ended, causing a tab on a switchboard to drop, telling the operator that the call had ended. But of course, that's what was supposed to happen, not necessarily what actually happened. So if you were using this, when the handset was put back on the cradle, it would send a pulse signal to the switchboard, indicating the call was over and automatically disconnecting the line for the operator. The type of network and the switchboards used with this are obsolete, so they are now a very nice way to hold your phone handset outside of the case. There is, however, one advantage today, and it requires a very rare, original 10-line Reichswehr switchboard. And that's that you can set it up to use the secondary quiet ringer inside of this instead of the loud ringer found inside of the FF33 field phones. In future videos, I'll explain how to set up this equipment for different types of lines, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and please comment below if you have any questions.